All eyes on Doge. Big run up to the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up to the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.60. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome to Market Analysis live stream. That's right, market analysis. We're going to be doing that post FOMC. Yes, Jerome Powell just finished his Q&A session. The whole FOMC was just a big nothing burger this time. Of course, as Kriss predicted. For those who are just joining for the first time, welcome. Changed my video formats to be more overall about finance. We'll be covering topical events and things going on in your financial life. But I'll also talk about cryptocurrencies and stocks and precious metals and all of those things as well. Not going to just focus on Dogecoin. However, in these live streams, we'll talk a lot about Doge because there is still great potential for Dogecoin, not only as a future currency, although you can still buy things with Dogecoin now. But we'll talk about Bitcoin, talk about gold. The new all-time high just happened on gold again. I think today was probably the largest single day increase in gold's history. Yes, history was made today, so we'll talk about that as well. And we have some outlooks of Dogecoin for the next 6 months, which I posted on X this morning. I will share during this live stream. And some interesting views of Bitcoin, of altcoins, and a bear market. I know, you don't want to hear that. You just want to hear prices are going to go up. Gold is going up. Silver is going up. Stocks are holding up pretty well, but crypto is not. And we'll talk about that as well. So welcome everybody. I know my morning videos are not all about Dogecoin. I get it. Change is hard. But for me, right, I want to cover other things because I can't just keep talking about the heat maps over and over again. And when is Elon gonna launch X money again? It's just like the same stuff over and over again. You've heard it all. So I'm going to be covering other things. Yes, Tom Crown live stream just ended. So I am here post Tom Crown. I was over there. Megal's pulling down so I can buy in at a low price again. That's what Megal's doing. Megal is being kind to me. Zion. Megal is being kind to me. And then next month, it'll go on another one of its little runs, just like it did last week. We can look at the Megal chart in just a little bit as well. So all of that is going on. So typically what I do in these live streams, if you haven't joined before, is I cover my views, my market analysis, news that I see, what other people are saying as well. And of course, put on my 2 cents on what other people say. And then I'll get to the Q&A, okay? So I'll get to you guys. But first, welcome everybody. Overall in the market, Dogecoin is at 12.5 cents. Now, it did come up above my downward sloping resistance line, which was a nice move that we had here, right? This was pretty good. This was what I predicted after Sunday, January 18th, big dump that we had. So I predicted all of this. It came all the way down to 11.8 as I had predicted. It moved up. I thought it was going to come back down off this resistance line, but instead, yesterday, it broke up above. So, and now we're moving sideways here. This is the brown box that I've been using to track the price. We're hoping it comes back up to 13 cents. That is now resistance. 13 cents is now the resistance on Doge. I know you don't want to hear 12 cent, 13 cent Doge. I get it. This is the market we got, though. Might not be the market we want, but it's the market we have. Bitcoin today. Bitcoin exactly as Tom Crown had predicted. Let me come back to 30-minute chart. Started the FOMC at around, let's see if I get about 89.5. We went up, we went down, and now we're back up to 89.5, right? It's a big nothing burger. It was a big nothing burger, the whole FOMC. There are a lot of questions to Chappelle about stuff that he wasn't going to answer, and he didn't comment on it. So overall, it was about as expected. Nothing really new on the news there. Ethereum is at $3,000, and it's just hanging. It's just hanging at $3,000 right now. All the eyes right now, I would love to say they're on Doge, but they're not. They're on gold. Gold even higher. I just posted 5,332 just about 20 minutes ago as a new all-time high, and now we're up at 5,350. Gold up 3.5% in a day. Do you know how many trillions of dollars that is? I mean, this is huge, this run on gold the past 24 hours. This is huge. The past 24 hours, gold is up 5%. That is amazing. It's never done that before. Never done that before. So that's where people are going to with their money. They're going into gold. They're buying gold. They're not buying Bitcoin. There's no rotation into Bitcoin going on, as many have been saying. It's still gold. We can look at silver as well and say, hey, silver, what's going on? Gold is hitting new all-time highs. What are you doing? Silver's kind of chilling. Now, silver was totally overbought, right? There was profit taking. But since that profit taking and it went down to about $102, silver has been doing higher lows. Now, it's on a short time frame, but that's what we've got. We've got higher lows there. Let's make this one orange so you can differentiate that. And that's what we're watching right now for silver. So big sell-off, a lot of profit taking. But you know what's going to happen? Silver's going to break $117 and it's going to go higher. So we will be watching for that as well. The money is flowing into all sorts of different metals, from uranium, right, to platinum, to copper, right? It's all going up. That's where the money's going right now. It's going there. We can look at the S&P 500, a little up and down action, but is pretty much the same. Now, we did have, I think it was in the overnight trading, over $7,020, new all-time high, S&P 500. NASDAQ is just about to its all-time high again. Dow Jones, 48,978, is below 48,978, below 49,634, its all-time high. And we're looking for $50,000. Now, Aaron, I'll show you my Dogecoin chart in just a little bit, okay? I'll show you my Dogecoin chart. It's not pretty. You're not going to like it. Sorry. You're not going to like it. So that's my overview. Now, what do other people say? Crypto Rover says, look, the FOMC rate decision, right? The Fed is still hawkish. After 3 consecutive rate cuts, the Fed has paused. Now, I predicted this pause, right? In reading through between the lines of what Powell had said the last 3 meetings, particularly in December, I was like, yeah, January, there's going to be no rate cut. And I mean, all the bettors were on that too. By the end, it was like 98% chance no rate cut. And there was no rate cut. This was something the markets had expected. But here's what's concerning. The Fed thinks the job market has started to stabilize, while the inflation concerns are still elevated. The Fed thinks the job market has started to stabilize. Well, I mean, layoffs in the past year: Dell, 13,000 people; Intel, 27,000; Meta, 11,000; UPS, 48,000; FedEx, 12,000; Boeing, 17,000; Verizon, 15,000; Walmart, 12,000; Amazon just added or just laid off another 16,000 corporate employees, bringing their total to the year 30,000, 15,000 Citigroup or Microsoft and Citigroup 20,000. That's a lot of layoffs. I'm sorry, guys. This is like bad news. It's bad news. So now I did a video this morning on cost of living and prices. And so I did, the inflation is double digits over 4 years since 2022. So, and I covered that in my video this morning, but people don't want to hear that stuff, right? So no one's watching that video, but that is key of what's going on, is what hits your pocketbook. What hits your pocketbook is important. So if you go to my channel and you'll see, here's my 2 latest videos, cost of living rising, right? And this emergency savings thing, because this is where we are right now. And you guys like all my Dogecoin videos. They're still there. They're all still relative. I'll talk about Dogecoin here in the live streams. Occasionally, I'll do a Dogecoin video when there's something to talk about. But there's nothing to talk about with Dogecoin right now, unfortunately. But I'll cover it in the live streams. We'll do the Dogecoin charting, and we'll look at all that in the latest news. So we will look at all of that, okay? But here's where the news is right now. The Fed also thinks the uncertainty is too high, too. The Fed reiterated again, they aim to achieve the 2.2% inflation target, but that hasn't happened yet. Looking at all this, it seems clear the Fed won't be cutting rates anytime soon. So, of course, Trump says we need to cut rates, we need to cut rates, we need to cut rates. But you know what that's going to do? That's just going to raise inflation again. It's going to raise inflation again. So the Fed, most likely, there's 2 more Fed meetings with Powell, and then he steps down. Jerome Powell is not getting fired. Okay, he steps down because his term is up end of April. So there will be an FOMC meeting in March, an FOMC meeting in April, 2 more that Jerome Powell will lead as the Fed chair. Trump is going to announce a new Fed chair in the coming weeks, maybe. I don't know. He said he was going to do it before. He hasn't yet. But that means that's the Fed chair that's going to start in May, right? Not right away. That's going to be the next Fed chair after Powell's term is up. Now, Jerome Powell could be still on the board of governors, and he could still vote on whether there should be rate cuts or not. And he might do that. Somebody asked him today in the Q&A, and he said he's not going to comment on that. So that's what's going on. But yeah, it's kind of a nothing burger today. But all of this is clouded behind uncertainty, economic uncertainty right now. And then what else do we have? We have the possibility of another government shutdown. Yes, the US government may shut down again on Friday. And most likely it's looking like, I mean, some are talking about now maybe a partial government shutdown. If it's partial or full, doesn't matter. The markets probably won't like that. Probably won't like that. So we have that. Another bearish outlook. This one is Tracer. The biggest crash is coming in 3 days. Okay. It's not going to be the biggest crash. I'll tell you that right now. Markets are going to go down, but it's not going to be the biggest crash. This is this Tracer guy, and he just does everything over the top. But a couple of things he says here are kind of interesting, right? If we get a government shutdown again, that means no inflation data again, no employment rates again, no balance sheet reports again, and zero visibility. The Fed will have zero data on the current market state. So, and we saw that before back in October, right? Government was shut down for 5 weeks. That was bad. So the odds of a government shutdown are up at 81% right now. So government shutdown is coming. Now, I don't think there's going to be this huge crash because of it. There hasn't been before, but we could have a pullback. It could be a pullback, okay? We covered layoffs. They're happening. They're happening. And I talked in this morning's video about jobs and the jobs that are out there, and a lot of them are gig work, part-time work, right? There's not a lot of employers who are hiring full-time, full benefit positions right now. I don't have a Discord. Nope. I hang out here and on X. If you want to follow me on X, you can message me on X. I am at KrissPax. This is where I am when I'm not here on YouTube. I'm over on X, not doing Discord. I had a Discord before, and I shut it down. So there was too much scamming going on and too much, it's just, no, not doing it. So I'm here. I'm here. If there's another shutdown, hey, Charlotte, if there's another shutdown, can we watch the votes again? Yeah, we'll do something fun. If there's another government shutdown, we'll do something fun, Charlotte. Sure, we will. We will do that. So Bitcoin, here's another one, right? This guy, Crypto Crew, he does some good charting here. He's bearish. He says the 21-week and 50-week moving averages, we're not crossing them. 2014, 2018, 2022, each time bull market top and then major drawdown. So I talk about the 4-year cycles, and many of you say, oh, we didn't have a 4-year cycle. And I repeat again, for those that didn't hear before, the 4-year cycle is Bitcoin. It's not all crypto. It's Bitcoin. Bitcoin did have a 4-year cycle. In fact, as I say many, many times, it's actually 3 years, 11 months. It's not actually 4 months. The halving date isn't a set date and time. It moves. And as it moves, the all-time high has moved. So we had a new Bitcoin all-time high in October 2025, was a new Bitcoin all-time high that came exactly 3 years and 11 months after the last cycle all-time high, which was in November 2021 when Bitcoin hit 69,000. In 2025 October, Bitcoin hit $126,200, new all-time high. So 4-year cycle. And now Crypto Crew is looking at bear market, relief rally, top, and then pullback, as happened in 2014, happened in 2018, happened in 2022. And here we are in 2026, 4 years later, and we're doing the same thing. Oh, John, yeah, the Banana Zone guy, Raul Paul, he's calling for a super cycle or extended cycle. He thinks that the business cycle this time is more on a 5-year cycle, so he's predicting an extended cycle. Not Kriss. No, Kriss has been bear market since about the end of October. After the October 10th flash crash, I waited to see what was going to happen after that. After about 3 weeks, it was clear to me that October 10th date for crypto began the crypto bull market. And I have been bullish. I mean, I've been crypto bear market, and I've been bearish ever since. And I continue to be bearish. I am not buying anything right now. I'm waiting till the summer. And I'll show you why in just a minute. Look at Ben Cowan. Ben Cowan on the Bitcoin chart is saying this is why everyone is so mad, because both the bulls and the bears, they both think they are right about Bitcoin's next move, but neither side is getting what they want, because Bitcoin is now just jumping around between like $87,000 and $91,000. It is going sideways now, waiting to see what happens. I think that's bearish for Bitcoin. I think that's bearish with Bitcoin. I'm just waiting for the relief rally to get out of what I got. Well, we had the relief rally, John. It happened, unfortunately. Now we could have a little bit more, but I'm not thinking that. Let's do Ben's last altcoin thing, and then I'll get back to Doge, and then I'll get to the Q&A. Ben Cowan says, I did not turn my back on the altcoin market. The altcoin market turned its back on me. What a weaselly way to get out of all of his predictions, right? What a weaselly way to get out of that. Because he was the one who was predicting, right, the whole turnaround in Bitcoin dominance and alt season and all that, and none of it happened. In fact, well, first he thought Bitcoin dominance was going to go way back up again, and that didn't happen either. It's just going sideways right below 60%. So he's wrong on both accounts, which I predicted he would be wrong on both accounts. So to him, altcoins have become a useless meme coin slop. Useless meme coin slop. And that's all those tokens, right? That's not Dogecoin. That's the tokens. So he's wrong when he says meme coin. He really means meme token. Okay? Meme token. Right. Right, Nick. Exactly. But he needs to say meme token slop, though. And Ben should know that. But everyone calls them meme coins because the KOLs, you know who the KOLs are? The key opinion leaders. Are you a key opinion leader? Am I a key opinion leader? I don't know. I'm just trying to keep it real here, guys. That's all I do. I'm not a moon boy, right? I keep it real. And unfortunately, we're in a bear market. So now my other videos are about emergency funds, right? Eric, right? Emergency funds, about the cost of living going up. And I'm going to continue that series. And I don't care if it gets less views. I think it's important to talk about what's really going on. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. But I'm always here to answer your questions and talk about markets and talk about Dogecoin and Bitcoin. And we'll cover gold and silver and all that stuff as well here on the live streams, because I could do this for hours, right? The videos, I want to be nice, compact. I want to get a certain message out. And so that's what I'm going to be doing going forward. It used to be exciting. It felt like innovation was actually happening with new altcoins, right? Many of them have good uses, right? And we talk about them a lot. We talk about layer twos on Bitcoin, like Stacks, and Arbitrum, and Optimism. And when they were launched, those were pretty good ideas, right? And Arbitrum is actually still doing very well. A lot of value, total value locked on Arbitrum. It's used in a lot of different cases, but the price is like at all-time low because the price doesn't actually reflect the utility. But now we got these new guys, right? The new guys, they joined and they just shilled meme coins, which I call meme tokens. Nonstop and innovation practically grinded to a halt. Now all people care about are shilling meme coins, strategic reserves, and ETFs. Whatever happened to changing the world? Now they act like I'm the bad guy for saying meme coins should go to zero. Crypto is not what it used to be. One day, I think it can return to that. And I'm like, nah, I think it's too far gone right now for most of that stuff. We've got Doge OS. Right? Doge OS is launching, and what's going to be the most popular app on the Doge OS layer? It's going to be a non-coin. It's going to be Stupid Anon, which is a platform for launching new tokens. Yeah, I agree, Nick. Ben is just, he thinks he's all high and mighty. And that's not the way to act. But his point is there, and I do believe in this. So like, whatever happened to crypto changing the world, right? Bitcoin is supposed to change the world. Now, it's not, right? Bitcoin is not being used as e-cash. If you read the Bitcoin white paper, right? What does the Bitcoin white paper say? Right? It's a digital cash outside of what the banks are doing, right? 2008, we had the whole financial crisis. And what happened? The banks got bailed out, right? Government bailed out the banks, But all the people who had bought stocks and real estate and all that got crushed. Did they get bailouts? Nope, I didn't get a bailout. You didn't get a bailout, but the banks did. Bitcoin was created. Something outside of the banks and outside the governments that could actually be used as a currency. But now what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin's now store of value, right? So we talk about Dogecoin a lot. We talk about Dogecoin because Dogecoin can actually be a currency, and it works a lot better as a currency, certainly, than Bitcoin. Now we can talk about, oh, XRP is faster. XRP isn't made to be a currency. It's made to be this cross-border payment thing, but not a real currency. Yeah, silver's a meme coin now, isn't it? Its price certainly is. So that's what's going on. Now, what's my view of Dogecoin right now? I posted it here on X this morning, and here it is. I made a fractal, and I know fractals don't always work out, right? The past is never completely copied, going forward. But Litecoin has a hard cap, Eric. It's a smaller Bitcoin, but it doesn't continue forever. Eventually, Litecoin has halvings as well, and will eventually be like Bitcoin. It's just a cheaper Bitcoin is really all Litecoin is. Litecoin has nothing to do with XRP. But here's what I say for Doge. This was my fractal here. And I know it's a little hard to see. I make it light gray because I'm going to follow this, right? I want to track this. I mean, according to the fractal, Doge isn't even going to get back to 20 cents. Now, what I say is we have seen Dogecoin trade this way before. Without a major catalyst for Doge, we could see stagnant price action into the summer of 2026 with dips in June, August, and September, because this is what Dogecoin does. There's a big dip in June, another dip in August, and then we start to see maybe a bit of a rally, and then we get another dip in September. This is how Dogecoin typically trades. And I say without a major catalyst. Now, if X money launches, we could get a little pump in Doge, but we just keep waiting. I know, Kronos, right? We just keep waiting. And even if Dogecoin isn't embedded in X money, X payments when it launches, the Dogecoin price will still spike, just with the anticipation that one day we're going to get Dogecoin somehow on X. But for now, this guy Peter Mirren says if clarity passes, Doge will go nuts. And I'm like, the clarity, it has nothing to do with Dogecoin. I mean, a little bit, right? Dogecoin will now be officially under the guidance of the CFTC and not the SEC, but along with a bunch of other alts, right, that already have ETFs, will automatically be CFTC. I don't think that gets Doge to go nuts, though. That's all about regulation, right? So this is what I foresee for Doge, unfortunately, going forward. I don't see us back up at 20 or 30 cents anytime soon, because we have an overall bear market. The economy isn't great. We got no stimulus checks. People are talking about, oh, we're going to have tariff checks, right? Trump says he's going to send out $2,000. No, that's not going to happen. Even Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, said it's probably going to be in some kind of tax cut or something. But we don't even know. So unfortunately, guys, I mean, this is why I'm going to start making videos of other things, because it's going to be a long spring and a long summer with Doge, I think. And that's not what you guys want to hear. You want to hear all these great things, prices going up and all that. But so I'm just holding the Doge I have, and I will buy more this summer. That's my plan. Now, will Doge absolutely be below 10 cents this summer? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but this is a fractal of something we've seen before, And this is what I think we're going to see in crypto, unfortunately. Now, I do have the pinger going off, and we're seeing some liquidations going on. So what are the liquidations in? Come on, show me. Not being nice. Come on, CoinGlass, get your act together here. They're shorts. ETH, XAU. Is XAU the gold one? Right. I think XAU is the gold one, isn't it? XAU. Yeah. Actually, yeah, let's go to this. XAU USDT. I don't want all this. I just want the spot. How about you? XAU USD. I don't want a perpetual contract. Yeah, it's gold. It's this. So, yeah, gold still going up. New all-time high. It just keeps going up. Yeah, it just mimics the price of gold. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy what gold is doing. Yep. Hi, Annika. Yeah, I'm glad you like my videos about Doge. There's a lot to learn from bear markets. I hope we continue to talk about Doge. I will right here. This is where I will talk about Doge. And if there's some big news about Doge, I will cover it on a video. But there's no big news going on right now with Doge. Once the Doge OS finally launches, I'll probably make a video about the Doge OS, but I don't have high hopes for it, at least as far as Dogecoin's price is concerned. So, because this is what we get. As soon as you start getting some green candles, it just goes right back down. So, can we see the gold shorts? I don't know. I don't know where to see that. I don't think there's a heat map on. I don't even know where you see that. I don't know where you see that. Unfortunately. But here's what's going on today. We did get some Bitcoin longs liquidated earlier, right before the FOMC meeting, about $74 million of Bitcoin. And for Doge, not too much, because Doge hasn't really been that volatile. So I guess we had some this morning. We had a few longs liquidated, but not that much. It's just kind of going sideways here. This was a few shorts that were liquidated here early in the morning during Asian trading times. And if we zoom out, you can just see here, like on the 3-day, it's just kind of going sideways now. So, yeah, not a lot. Not a lot. Now, this was yesterday, right? We had the up and down action yesterday, and we took out a lot of shorts here. Came back down, took out longs, came back up, took out shorts. Not too many on the Doge side. That was more of a Bitcoin move. But look at right at 12 cents. Look at all of this liquidity down here, right at 12 cents. That's where things will probably be going next. Let's check on Bitcoin again. And it's probably similar. Yep, look at all this Bitcoin down here. This is down at like 86.9. So yeah, I think Bitcoin's probably going to probably going to dip right below 86.9. You want to short gold, Eric? I don't know how to do it. I don't trade gold. I mean, if you've got Binance and I guess you can short on Binance, but in the United States, we don't have Binance. But you can short that XAU USD trading pair. I just don't know. I don't know where to find that because I don't think we have. Oh, look at there, XAU. Wait a sec. There is an XAU heat map. Look at that. Well, there you go. I found it. Thank you, Eric. Here it is. Now, this is just those on Binance. And there were just $7 million taken out at 53.50. Was $7 million of gold crypto shorts. Puts on spot ETFs. Yeah, well, you can also short the price on Binance using the XAU so-called crypto trading pair. And you can short that. But right now, it's the shorts that keep getting wiped out as gold goes on this big run. A lot of long leverage being traded here. Those guys are making money. I wonder if we zoom out, how many big long leverage trades are still open? Probably a lot. Probably a lot for gold. Yeah, look at all of this. People still have these open. And they're just making money all the way up. Making money. Long leverage trades. Wow, interesting. Okay. Okay. Let me scroll up and see what else you guys are talking about here. If I remember, gold surged in 2008. And what happened to gold during the 2008 financial crisis? Probably saw a spike, right? Yeah, it went up. It went up from like mid 2007 up through 2010. Obviously nothing like it is doing now, but that move was about 200%. 200%. And that was in 3 years. 200% in 3 years. We just did 200% in 3 months. Oh, no, that's 100%. I got to go back further. Since September, 200%. So September, October, November, December. Yeah, about 5 months. 200%, as opposed to 3 years back in 2008. This is just parabolic. Craziness. Parabolic. For gold. With the economy like this, midterms will be harsh for Republicans. Well, I mean, Trump is trying to, keep gas prices down. I talked again about this in this morning's video too, about cost of living prices and what's actually cheaper, which is kind of interesting, right? Like used cars are relatively cheap now, and gas. I mean, most cities around the United States, you're buying gas for less than $3 a gallon. So Trump's doing what he can, right? Drill, baby, drill. Keep gas prices down. That's to mask a recession. Because we know the economy's hurting in other areas. But if gas prices stay down, then shipping costs are relatively down across the country. Things that need to be driven around in trucks, Of course, they're having a lot of them like slide off the road in snowstorms right now, especially if you're anywhere near Michigan. Man, that place is just, they're hurting. Yeah. If the Democrats win both houses in November, Trump isn't going to be able to get much done other than his executive orders, which he'll push to the limit, of course, and his executive privilege, he'll push to the limit because Congress isn't going to do anything. And there's the whole thing about the filibuster, and this whole thing about voter registration and ID, voter ID. Oh. Elon needs to get his act together and do what he said and add Doge for X payments. There's always the Elon thing, right, Kronos? There's always the Elon thing. Is Elon gonna do something? I don't know. Why is Robinhood adding all these coins? It's just for money. They're just making money. Now, why they choose the coins they choose to add, I have no idea. I can think of much better coins that they could be adding than the ones they are. I mean, really, Onyx. Have you seen the chart on Onyx coin? Man, that is like the worst chart ever. It was fun for a while, right? It was fun for a while. That's the chart. You know, really, Robinhood, you're gonna add this? I mean, look at this. That's like one of the worst charts ever, and this is what they add. Right? People will be trading it. Robinhood's just going to make money. They're going to do whatever they can to make money. That's just an awful chart. And I predicted it, right? It's a big downfall. Can't believe it was up to like $1.70 and now it's 14 cents. So yeah, XPL went over $1. Doge didn't go over $1. XPL is now at 14 cents and Doge is 12 cents. Yeah. The gold market is too massive for market makers to manipulate. That's true. John, you're shorting XPL? Yeah, this is just, well, I mean, in the short term, it's actually doing pretty well. I mean, it dipped down here on Sunday to about 11.5 cents, and now it's at 14.5. That's a pretty good move. If you bought the dip on the Sunday, I mean, that's enough. 26% little run here. That's probably because it was getting listed on Robinhood. It went on a little run, right? Something like that. I'm looking through iShares IAU Gold Spot, and it's been driving my portfolio growth for the last 6 months. Yeah, I don't have anything in gold, nothing in silver. I mean, I've been doing great on my Vanguard 500 and my Russell 2000 funds, mutual funds that are in my 401k plan, because those are, right, all-time highs. You can look at, right. I forgot to move the line up on Russell 2000. It hit all-time high 2734 here on a week ago. It was a week ago. So a bit of a pullback on the Russell since then. But if you zoom out and you look at on the daily, the Russell, it's like that's just a big run since the tariff pullback. Since the tariff pullback in April, Russell 2000 is up 57%. So meanwhile, I just keep adding to my 401k plan. Dogecoin's been going the opposite way. It hasn't been following the Russell. So many people were saying, oh, as soon as the Russell starts moving, altcoins are going to follow. Nope, they haven't. It was gold and silver. The massive gold rally is actually a bit concerning. Yeah, it's the sign of a bad economy. And especially the way it's been moving. Warning signs all over. Warning, warning. Doesn't look like crypto is bouncing anytime soon. Nope, Con. In fact, I don't know if you saw my post on X here that I showed earlier here on the stream. This is my Dogecoin prediction for the next 8 months. And there's no bounce. There's no bounce here. Now that's, again, without a major catalyst. Again, if Dogecoin gets some huge news, if Elon does something, then this is out and Doge will spike and we'll get a bounce. But without it, this is what we're looking at. It's going to be a long summer, unfortunately. Is it dampening the recession rather than hiding it? Well, a recession is either on or off. I mean, we knew we were in a recession back from Biden's last year as president. It was pretty much a recession, except that he changed the rules of what defines a recession. And now Trump is actually trying to pump the GDP, lowering gas prices, and by all these tariffs, getting companies to start building plants here in the United States. You know, companies that have been relying on building in other countries. So all that money is kind of flowing in, which will help the GDP of the country, even though we're getting more layoffs. We're going to see the unemployment numbers start to go up. We're going to see new job creations going down. That's the upcoming economic data that's coming, which is the economy isn't great. Will it ever be officially a recession? Trump is going to do everything he can to stay away from that. So, do we feel poor or not? A lot of people do. Again, I made a video this morning. If you didn't see, again, my videos now are going to be about the economy and personal finance, along with trading and investing, and I'll cover that too. But cost of living was my video this morning on the cost of living. It continues to go up more than your wages. And that's the key point. If your wages go up 3% every year, but the cost of living is going up 5% every year, you're losing. You get that pay raise and it's not even catching up to the price of things. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. Doesn't have a lot of views. It's just one of those things, right? But, you know, I think I'll get a new audience with this new approach. You know, change is hard. I get it, right? You guys just want to hear Dogecoin to the moon videos, but that's what I'm here for. That's why I do the live streams, and I'll talk about Dogecoin here, along with many other, all these other cryptos and whatever you guys want to talk about. That's what I'm here for during the live streams. So any questions you have, let me know. Put them in the chat, and we'll cover them. I know you guys, you're used to seeing my morning videos of a catch-up of what's going on with Doge, but I feel it's more important to start covering other things going on in the economy. Democrats have a good chance of flipping the House. The Senate is a long shot. Yeah, that's what I hear too. So we get a split Congress. That's still going to slow things up, particularly with the House. That's going to slow things up. Mm-mm-mm. I know we have a picture of Kronos now with a little dog. We like it. I used to say Robinhood must know something. I don't think that anymore. No, Robinhood is all for profit. Why do you think they got into the so-called prediction market, right? And you can now bet on sports events and political events, right? Because that's where the money is. They're making money off of that. It's guaranteed profit. So they're doing that too. Right? What does that have to do with investing and saving, right? That's gambling. And you can now do that on Robinhood. Things are going to keep being slow in most things as long as the market fear, sudden random economic shenanigans, trade wars, all of that. It's an uncertain market, and we're not going to see a huge run in crypto, particularly altcoins. They're not going to go on a big run. There's no free money out there like there was in 2021. It's just not there. And we've got millions of cryptos now. We didn't have so many back in 2021. Yeah, Kronos. You change your profile pic so you can see me instead of just Remy. That's cute. Remy. We like Remy. Nick, I'm too handsome. What's the latest rumors? I don't know when it's going to launch. It's still testnet. It's still under testnet. So we're waiting. And those guys at Anoncoin are trying to get me all excited about their token launch pad and saying, and calling out these tokens that are growing and making big market caps. And I look at them and they're all traded with Solana. Right now, that whole Anoncoin is a Solana swap thing. And they say, well, they're going to port it over to Doge once the Doge OS launches. And I'm like, I don't know. How are you going to do that? It's now a Solana swap site. Plus, we don't need all those stupid tokens. We don't need them. As Ben Collins said, right? Make something with utility, not just a stupid token that doesn't do anything. Not a fan. I'm not a fan. You're playing slots while watching me, Charlotte. Why not, right? I hope you're winning. I hope you're winning. William, how are you? Taxes are killing you. You should see my tax. I don't even know what it is yet. I still have to get everything to my accountant, and I don't have all my data yet from Coinbase and Robinhood. I'm still waiting for my digital asset 1099 and see what it actually says. So, Mr. Pumpalot, when X money, exactly, right? What happens if we take a further step back? Well, if we're on the 4-year cycle and the bottom is in 2026, and then it's up and down, but slightly up in 2027, 2028. So, hi, Joanna. How are you? Aloha. So sad for crypto, seeing everything else just pumping. The 4-year cycle makes little sense. I know. It's just a thing. It is what it is, Con. Love the bear market, buying cheap, right? And that's what I'm looking for, is what happens this summer. I'm not buying right now. Could it go up between now and then? Maybe. But right now, I'm just waiting. I have my thesis. I'm sticking with it. I'm not one of those guys who says one thing but does something else. I've always been honest about my trading, about my outlook, when I sell, when I buy. My politics are as extreme as my handsomeness. Oh, that's good. I see every single comment Nick is posting. You're doing all of that Grok AI stuff, Joanna. I know, I see it. It's cute. It is good. You love the idea of hearing other things in the morning? Thank you, Annika. Thank you. Doesn't get as many views right now, but I think we'll start growing, turning around again. It was just the Doge, everyday Doge videos. Was getting to be a bit of a grind, and I've got so many other things to talk about. X money to launch in 2025. Yeah, it didn't happen. But it launched internally. Elon, that doesn't count. That doesn't count internally. Rates need to be near zero. I think it was just, Con, I think it was just tied to all that stimulus check money. Really, that's what I was. It was just gambling. It was like a casino, altcoins. I don't think we're going to see that again. I'm going into copper. I don't know the copper stocks. Wish I had money for silver and gold. You know, you'd be buying the top, or is it the top? Or does it just keep going up? That's the big debate right now, right? With gold and silver. Does it just keep going up? I mean, look at this. Now over 4% on the day. Just keeps going up. Almost 5,400 new all-time high. About 53.95, 53.96. We're right in there now. New all-time high on gold. It didn't even, I mean, the resistance line that I drew here was nothing. It was just like it came up above it, retested, and go higher. Just typical. Just moving higher. It's not even messing around. Like a meme coin. Gold. If Dogecoin gets to $1, wherever I am, I'm having a party. Everybody's invited, right? Everybody's invited. I really hope I get rich next bull, but I think it's going to be our last bull market. No, there'll be bulls and bears will continue. It's just not going to be as volatile. The percentages are all going to kind of, the gains and losses will just be less. Where's the cool hat? It's right here. The market cap. It's right there. Thanks to Robinhood. Market cap. It's around. Everybody's looking forward to the Doge party. It's just when, right? When are we going to have that Doge party? Bitcoin about to drop into the 88s. You can see that coming, right? It's going to come back and retest this line. That's even now in the 87s. Charlotte is spiraling, doing things she shouldn't be doing. Eeks. Don't forget to smash the like button, everybody. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Put your questions in the chat. Talking market analysis, gold, silver, stocks, Bitcoin, gold, Megal. $1.20 on Megal now. $1.20. If it goes down into the teens, I'm buying again. I'll be back into Megal. That's the Magic Empire Global Limited, Megal. For those that don't know Meggle, it's a stock that I've been swing trading again and again. I missed the last little spike here, which was last week. It came up to $1.42, now all the way back down to $1.20 on Meggle. We zoom out and we can see how this trades. And again, every month or so, there's a spike in the price and it comes back down. And then there's a spike in the price and it comes back down. So I'm ready to buy in. Here's one in September. Here's one in October. Here's one end of October into November. There's December, and we had one in January. It's like every month there's a spike in the price. So that's what I swing trade. That is a pattern, my friends. The overall trend has been lower since last summer. But yeah, it just continually has these spikes in price. Awesome to swing trade. People, oh, it's a Chinese shitcoin. Yeah, it's a Chinese shitcoin that Kriss has made a lot of money on with all of these spikes. It's just something I do for fun of it. Not a huge amount of money, but I'll put in 3,000 and I'll come back with 4,000. It's $1,000 a month extra that I make swing trading the stock. I'll take it. Get some nice meals out of that, right? Nick, you buy lottery tickets. You know what the odds on that are? I'll play like 5 or 10 picks with like Powerball's over $1 billion, right? Just for the fun of it. But I don't play all the time. A silver double tap. Will we come back and hit 117? I think we will. I think we will. Oh, it did. Oh, yeah, there we are. You're right. I thought it would happen, but it did. Looks like it got, yeah, it was over 117. There you go. Double top. Silver. Yeah, alts, even if they lowered rates again, Con, alts wouldn't pump. That's not going to cause alts to pump, in my opinion. Lottery tickets are for losers. It's been the result so far. Yeah. In my head on Meggle, I have the teens again because that's where I sold in December, and I want to buy that back in the teens. So I'm patient. I'm waiting. Maybe tomorrow. It's sitting at $1.20 now. There's a big block of bids at $1.20, so it's not going to go below $1.20 tonight after market because there's a huge block there, 5,400 shares that I see on the chart here that it is not going to go below tonight. So I wait. Accurast, interesting token project. Old mobile phones. I'll pass. If we get rates back to 1%, even if there's a new Fed chair, that doesn't mean the board is going to go for all of those rate cuts. It's not the Fed chair that makes the decision. There's a board of governors that vote on it. So I don't know. And you don't think Bitcoin will keep going up forever. I think it's going to have a period of very long bear market, 6 to 8 years. Maybe it even dies. Wow, that's quite a prediction, Con. So you think Bitcoin was a big bubble And maybe it's October high of 126. That's as high as it ever goes. So all these people out there talking about 200K, 500K, $1 million Bitcoin by 2030. You think none of that's going to happen? Wow. Yeah, Charlotte, the Queen of Doge. The Queen of Doge on X. Yep, still have the hat. It's the market cap. It's a market cap. You'll fly over from Sweden, Tobias. Dogecoin dollar party. It'll be epic. Knockstar's waiting for 5 cents now. Not too long ago, I thought your target was higher. Now it's down to 5. I don't know. I'm still thinking a dip into the 9s, right below 10, and I'll be buying $9.99. That's where I'll be buying $9.99, maybe in June, $9.99. But we'll see. Nobody knows for sure. Any plans for a member-only video? Tobias, that's a good idea. I should do that. That's a very good idea. Is a member-only video. Good idea. Well, Annika, with Dogecoin, it can always go on a big spike based on what I call a catalyst or big news specifically for Doge, which we had in the fall of 2024 with Elon and Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. We all thought that was cute. Elon making fun with Dogecoin and the government efficiency thing. And so Dogecoin went on a huge run. So that's what it would take for Doge to do that kind of thing again. Unfortunately, that's what it is. I should make a goal of a 1 million Doge portfolio. I will probably have by the end of this summer more than 1 million Doge. Probably. Crypto bubble. And you know, not only Khan, but there's a lot of others calling for that too. That it was kind of a tulip phase we went through with crypto. And it was a big bubble. There are others who are calling for that. I just think with all these governments and institutions and so much going into Bitcoin particularly, but there's a lot of big money also in a lot of other alts, Ethereum, SWI, a bunch of others that it's not going to die. It's not going to die. Now, I wish the million of stupid tokens, I wish they all died. We don't need to keep making more of those. They don't do anything. And that was Ben Cowan's whole rant here on X. Whatever happened to changing the world? All these meme tokens being pumped out doesn't do that. So I'm going to buy as soon as it dips below $1.20. So tomorrow morning, I'm probably going to set a limit buy order, like $1.18 or something. And we'll see if it dips down there. But it's $1.20 right now after market. And it's stuck there. Will there be a rotation from gold into Bitcoin? Great question, Red Bull. That's a great question. I mean, people are already calling for it, and it's not happening. Gold just keeps going higher. And gold could keep trending upwards for months. For months. Any pullbacks we've seen on gold, where's that money going to? I think it's going into the stock market. It's not going into crypto. Too many of these investors already know about the 4-year cycle, right? Bitcoin 4-year cycle. They're not going to be buying now. So we'll see how low Bitcoin goes. And again, this summer, we could start to see something like that. That's what I think. I mean, if Bitcoin goes down to like 69K, you're going to see some buying of Bitcoin. And there could be some rotation, gold profits going into Bitcoin. But you need to see the price a lot lower. But if the price does go that low, you're going to get a lot of these other views of the Bitcoin bubble. And you're going to hear that. Bitcoin bubble, Bitcoin bubble. One more bull market, and at some point, I think Bitcoin will have a long period of sideways down. Oh, so you think there'll be another bull? Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. That's for sure. We don't know. Hey, Campo, how are you? Welcome. I don't know where to go see like puts and pulls or whatever on stocks. I don't know where to see that. So I don't know. Am I going to start a stocks portfolio? Yes, I am. Yeah, probably late spring. I'm going to make a dividend stock portfolio with a couple extras. Like put some Tesla in there and a couple other things. So yeah, that's going to come probably sometime late spring. I'm waiting for a big pullback on stocks before I start buying because I think that's going to happen. Could always make a big move. Yes, DB. Can I explain a Roth IRA? Sure. Harold, Roth IRA means that you're going to pay the taxes up front on the money you put in there. That's all it is. Typically, if you've got a 401k plan or a regular IRA account, then when you're retired and you start drawing that money out, you have to pay the tax on that money. So some say that it's better to do that because you'll be paying a lower percentage on the tax because you won't be making a salary, right? You won't be making as much. So your tax will be low. However, when you're retired, you don't have income, right? Because you're not working. And so for most, right, you're trying to like trim your budget down and every dollar counts in retirement. So if you set up a Roth IRA and you prepay the tax, when you put the money in the Roth, then when you pull it out when you're retired, you don't have any tax to pay on that. And that's why it's popular. So you front load the interest now, and then when you're retired, you take it out and it's interest free. And you also don't have to pay any interest on the gains in your IRA. So if you had an IRA that was full of gold or your gold mutual funds or whatever, and gold just went up all those gains, tax-free. You don't have to pay any capital gains tax. So that's the difference. Highly recommended. If you can pay the tax now, because you don't know what life it's going to be like when you retire. You don't know. I wish I had done that. When I started my 401k plan, there weren't Roth IRAs. They didn't exist. And then when they came in, I was doing the whole 401k through my employer, so I didn't have an option to do that. Now, could I have taken other money on the side and started my own Roth IRA with that? I could have, but I was investing it all. And I made a lot more money investing all that money than sticking it into another retirement account. I was already set with my 401k. So that's what I did. You bought XPL at 13? Yeah. And XPL went up. So that was good, right? 14.4 now. Is it going to keep going up? I don't know. I don't know. It's got a long way to go to get back up to where it used to be. But it had a little relief rally too. Even at the end of 2025, it was kind of going up. Came back and retested 11 cents here. And now heading back up. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't really follow XPL that much. I mean, we did last year when it was up over $1. Don't know where it's going to go. But right now, we're kind of stuck, right? I don't want to do this, Charlotte. I really don't, but I'm going to anyway. We're starting to form a new rectangle. This is how stagnant things are, right? I got to make these stupid rectangles. Camel Finance thinks a new all-time high is coming on Bitcoin. There's a lot of people who think new all-time highs are coming. Those predictions are made all the time. All over X, I see it. Did you see the high IQ guy? God, this is just like, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. This guy right here, the world's highest IQ holder, Young Hoon Kim, predicts Bitcoin will reach $276,000 by February 2026. I'm like, come on. 276,000 next month? It's like, and I say, if this self-proclaimed high IQ guy actually traded real money on his predictions, he would be broke. I mean, what's the difference between him saying it and me saying it? And what's to say he actually has an IQ of whatever he says it is? World's highest IQ. According to him, hey, he's playing the social media pretty well, right? He's getting a lot of attention. People are talking about him. I guess that's the, right? That's why you do stuff on social media, and that's why you make outlandish things like this, right? You get people to like follow you. So he's doing well on the social media front, but prediction front, he's losing big time. People with gold will get greedy and try to 2 to 5x on Bitcoin. We're back in business again. Yep. The market makers and exchanges are totally in control of the crypto market. Totally in control. Many of the gold purchases are central banks. Yes. I wouldn't say all, but many. Yeah. One more push to all-time high. For what, Jay? For gold? Gold is at all-time high. Hey, company, you like my latest video on financials? Thank you. Not many people are watching it. Not many people watching, but it's there. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Some different, challenging me. And I got a lot to talk about. So I will continue to make these. Maybe get a new audience for my stupid views on the world. Right? Hey, Gurinder, how are you? 4 more years buying and stacking. Yeah, I'm going to wait to start my portfolio until if my prediction plays out. And if my prediction plays out, I'll be starting to stack. We just see what happens with the stock market, and there's a big pullback for something. I don't know what. Trump is going to do something, and the stock market is going to take a big dip. I don't know if it's going to crash or not, but it'll be a big dip, and that's when I'm going to start buying it. How old is Charlotte? I know you can't deal with new rectangles. That's why I called you out, Charlotte. No, not another one. I just use it to guide how it's going. Life is like a box of rectangles. Well, Ben Cowan certainly has an higher IQ when it comes to investing. I'll give him that. But he also is not always correct. And he admits it. But I'd like to call him out on it anyway. But Kriss, he's high IQ, according to himself, sure. CDC's in the house. How are you? How to do an IRA. It's so easy. It's so easy. I mean, even your bank will open an IRA for you. And then you just, like if you're at Bank of America, they're partnered with Merrill Edge, and you open a Merrill Edge IRA account, and then you just buy on the Merrill Edge website. It's that easy. It's really easy. So go to Bank of America, and I know Merrill Edge probably isn't the cheapest, right? But it's the easiest. And they make some fees off stuff, and that's just the way the IRA is. They get their fees. But you don't trade on an IRA. It's a long-term thing. You buy and you just hold it, because the more you trade, the more fees they make, because they make a fee on every trade in an IRA. So you buy it and forget it. Like buy some Apple stock, right? Or buy Tesla stock in an IRA, and you just let it sit there till you retire. And with inflation going on, and the endless money printing that the US does, the stock is going to go up. It's guaranteed. Just to break even, it has to go up. We need to get out of the bear market, Gene. I agree, but unfortunately, it's not how it works. Not anytime soon. I'm high IQ too, but I still believe this slot machine owes me. True, Miss Charlotte, true. Thank you, Compo. And I can have fun with the new style of videos, because I can cover just about anything. Dogecoin, I was getting kind of pigeonholed a little bit. So get to break out a little bit. And it's tough losing a lot of views on videos, but right now, the sentiment on crypto is really bad. Weren't getting a lot of views anyway. I mean, getting less views to start. When you make a change, YouTube doesn't like it. The algorithm doesn't like it. It's like, wait, this guy was making Dogecoin and crypto videos, and now he's talking about personal finance. So my videos don't go out on as many people's feeds, but I think it'll grow over time. The Iran conflict. Compo, I don't know about that. Is Iran that big of a deal? I don't think so, especially the way Trump is going to do it with the air superiority, like they just do bombing runs at night. No troops on the ground. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. And I don't think it would be an overall war either. I think it would just be some bombing runs, and that's it. Because we have air superiority, and we can just do what we need in the middle of the night. There's all kinds of black swans that can happen. Now, is there going to be a crypto one? I think there could be. Like if Bitcoin goes down to 70K, MicroStrategy, right, is a negative on their overall investment. I think that's going to freak a bunch of people out, because MicroStrategy has been buying all this Bitcoin for 5 years. And if the price of Bitcoin goes below their average holding price, that could be bad. Especially all the borrowing MicroStrategy has been doing. They've been making all these preferred stocks and doing all this other trading stuff in order to buy more Bitcoin, and then they end up being negative on it. I think their average price is like 74K, somewhere in there now. If it goes below that, that's not going to be good, especially for MicroStrategy stock. I'm not buying that. No way I'm buying MicroStrategy stock now. I made a bunch of money off it a year ago. I did some swing trades on MicroStrategy and made good money. I'm not touching it now. Too much uncertainty with Bitcoin. Who are you and what have you done with Kriss? He would never tell me to use a bank. He'd tell me to use Fidelity. Well, okay, so you know. All right. So use Fidelity then. There you go. I think Doge could take off with some good advertising. There is a bunch of advertising using it as payment. Just the world isn't ready for Doge yet. Not ready. Arthur Hayes, big time. Remember when he was talking about Aptos and was all about Aptos? Remember that? And he said he was buying big into Aptos. It was all about Aptos, right? And look what happened to the Aptos price. It tanked from $12 all the way down to $1.60 for Aptos. Man. 89, down 89% since December 2024. And he was talking all about Aptos here. Up like $12. All in on Aptos. And I was like, I had already sold my Aptos that I had. I sold it way before. This was my average price at $7, and I sold it at $17. I almost sold the exact top of Aptos right there. $17 Aptos. So I made off my trade 150% on Aptos. Then Arthur Hayes started talking about it, and I was already out. He thought because it was the other half of those Facebook guys that were making whatever that Facebook crypto was going to be. I don't remember what the name of it was. Some went to SWI and some went to Aptos. And Arthur thought Aptos was going to be the greatest next big thing. Nope. Down 89%. Not touching it. Not touching it. My Roth IRA is the S&P 500 index fund, SCHD dividend stock, and one REIT, and a little Bitcoin. Oh, it allows you to have some Bitcoin. Cool. Right. And then you just forget it and you just hold it. Crypto acting like gold while gold is acting like crypto. Insane, isn't it? Nobody predicted this. Nobody predicted. Well, maybe Peter Schiff did. But Peter Schiff was wrong for 15 years. Just to be right this year. I still think overall, Bitcoin has outperformed gold over 15 years, even with gold's incredible price run this year. VP has stopped live streaming. Well, I'll continue to live stream, but I'm making videos too. It's just not all going to be crypto. Is he going to do his food channel, whatever he was doing? Food reviews? Just start buying until the bottom and then buy more. Yeah, I'm not buying now, Mark. I'm waiting for the bottom. Am I going to get the bottom? I don't know. But I do feel pain coming up. Kriss should just not feed the Pax. I don't think if we go into government shutdown on Friday, I don't think it's a black swan. I don't think we're going to see huge price dips because they know it's politics. This is all just over the Minneapolis shooting last weekend. And so they want to defund DHS and their money and the money going into these actions on the streets. Not the best thing, but come on, you're going to shut down the whole government over that? It's politics. And I think most people know that. Oh, quantum again. They can't make a stable quantum anything right now. It's going to take years and years and years, Con. Years and years. X money will be the advertisement for Doge. Exactly, Josh. Right. If Doge is being used on the X platform, then it becomes real. Crazy good. How are you? Welcome. The frozen shrimps, thinly sliced. That's what he likes. Imagine the people in the chat who don't know who PaxCat is. There's lots of pictures of him around. You're watching Bitcoin Cash, huh? BCH. I forget which chart I've been tracking Bitcoin Cash on. It wasn't any of these futures ones. Yes, it was the Coinbase one. Let's zoom out and take a look. Bitcoin Cash. Actually, Bitcoin Cash looks pretty stable. Mark, that's a, Bitcoin Cash chart is actually pretty good. Comparatively with other cryptos. This is a pretty good chart. At the end of the year, December, it just kept going up into January. Had a little pullback with everything else. I think it'll be back up over 640. Bitcoin Cash. Where Dogecoin is down, unfortunately. My yellow rectangle is just temporary, Charlotte. It's just temporary. Eating food costs too much money, so he stopped the food reviews. Hey, if he had followed me, he would have made money. But he didn't. He went chasing those stupid shit tokens. And he ends up not making money. You have silver mining shares not outperforming silver price. Yeah. Peter Schiff actually talked about this the other day, that some mining companies do better than others. But if you bought his mutual fund that covers all the companies, and then you don't have to pick and choose which one, you just buy his mutual fund. He was shilling that on like CNBC. It's like, buy my mutual fund. SCHD is a dividend ETF. Pays a dividend every quarter. Oh, I didn't know they had those. Interesting. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. My food channel. No, it's just this one. It's the finance channel. PaxCat, you're king. They will know me. There's PaxCat. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. I know, Charlotte. I did it just to trigger you. It's the trigger. GDXJ. GDXJ. The Van Eck Junior Gold Miners. The Van Eck Junior Gold Miners. Wow. This has been doing great. Look at this chart. Wow. Matthias, that is awesome. Look at that chart. That's a 3x in a little over a year. That's a 3x. That's where the money is. Good job, Matthias. Look at that. Awesome job. Can Dogecoin hit 15 cents by the end of the month? Unless there's something good that happens. I don't see it, though. I think it already hit its high for the month. And it's not going back up. So yeah, 15 cents. That would be up here. Nope. Oh, that's what it hit. Yeah, it already January 14th it hit 15 cents. January 5th it was at 15.4, which was my resistance, the bottom of the red box right there. It just had a couple wicks over it, and that's it. And then down. So to get now from where Dogecoin is at 12.5 back up to 15 cents is a 20% move. Fortunately, I just don't see that happening. You sold your S&P. Think it's topping? It hit 7,000. Came back and touched support. This was my support line. Came back and touched support. And that was today. I didn't even notice that. It touched my support line. It bounced right off it. Look at that on that wick. I think it's going higher before it dips. The government shutdown. We don't know what's going to happen on Friday. Don't know. NASDAQ too, right near all-time high. Meanwhile, total crypto market cap is dipping back below 3 trillion. Crypto is just not able to hold any gains. It's being manipulated way too much. They keep dropping it down and taking out more shorts. Still not on the... I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it off the list, Charlotte, so you can continue to use that word. Oh, good to pan gold. Sell your crypto. Go buy gold panning supplies. $0.20 Doge. Not for a while, dude. Not for a while. Maybe April. If you sell, it'll go to 15 cents. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out, Con. Blame it on BlackRock. What do you want to blame on BlackRock? BlackRock just has a huge IBIT Bitcoin ETF, and they buy and sell as users on the account buy and sell. BlackRock is not manipulating Bitcoin. People get that wrong all the time. Those aren't BlackRock's Bitcoin. That's the ETF's Bitcoin. So you get mass selling of the ETF, the IBIT ETF, then BlackRock has to turn around and sell the Bitcoin corresponding to the ETF sales. And then when there's a bunch of buys into the IBIT ETF, then BlackRock buys Bitcoin. But they're not buying it for themselves. They're just making money off the trading. It's guaranteed profit. Doesn't matter if the price goes up or down, BlackRock wins. That's why they like the ETF. Are they actually voting for the crypto structure bill? I don't think it's the real vote, Crazy Good. I think this is more about some of the terms and language, but not the real vote of the whole bill. I don't think it's all in line yet, ready to be voted on. Blame it on the rain. Is there a 30-day wait time for rebuying the same stock? Yes. The wash trading rule counts for stocks. Now, you can do it. Like on Robinhood, you can sell and then turn around and buy, but you'll get a warning. And if you get 3 warnings on Robinhood, they will, I don't know if they cancel your account or they put your account on hold. They do something. But then you also can't claim on your taxes any of the losses. Like if you're doing a swing trade and you're going to claim a loss for capital gains, they won't count it if you rebuy it within the 30 days. So you get no credit for that. If I see black rocks on the river while panning gold, I'll blame it. Mega buy time. Josh, tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think. It's going to dip below $1.20. Kriss will be buying. Thank you, Will. Appreciate it. Anybody want to subscribe who hasn't already subscribed? Please do. Follow KrissPax account. I'm also over here on X. I do hang out on X when I'm not here on YouTube and not working, of course, too. I am at KrissPax right there. So check me out on X at KrissPax. Called the gold, new all-time high. Prepped for my live stream here. Did my Dogecoin 8-month prediction this morning. Made fun of the high IQ guy. Have fun over there when I'm not here. Thank you, Crazy Good. Appreciate it. It's just amazing how many people who've been tracking all of this stuff don't understand how it works. They just want to get rich. They don't care how it actually works. So all that crap that's been posted on X about BlackRock buying and BlackRock selling, it's just like, just follow IBIT. If they're selling on IBIT, then BlackRock will sell. If there's buying on IBIT, then BlackRock buys because they have to do that. That's how the ETF is set up. So if it's a gain on your stock, and then you rebuy that same stock within 30 days, there is some kind of penalty you pay tax-wise, and I don't remember what it is. But there is I think if you buy in at a lower price, you don't get that, whatever the tax advantage is of that. So you have to be careful because it comes out on your taxes. But on Robinhood, you can only do it 3 times because I've done it twice before. I learned. It was back in 2020 when I was swing trading stocks. Won't be a bear market until 2028. I don't think so. I think it would probably be early 2027 or even late 2026. We might start to see some recovery. But I mean, who knows, right? What's happening a year from now? Yeah, Shahan, a lot of people are talking about MicroStrategy and not going to sell. I mean, Michael Saylor has been very clear about it. He's got this company set up where it can't sell the Bitcoin. So if the price of Bitcoin does fall below 74K, their average buy price now, if it falls below, yeah, you'll get banned, but after 3, on Robinhood, it's 3 trades. I'm going to ask Grok. What is the penalty for wash trading stocks? If I sell a stock at, say, $10, then rebuy the same stock for $5 2 days later, as an example. You give Grok an example, and Grok will tell you. I love Grok. Grok's awesome. They'll give it to you all. Or you can ask me, and I'll tell you, well, I don't know. But I'll lean on Grok here, and Grok will tell me. Now I wanna learn this too. So, well, you can rebuy within 30 days. I've done it 3 times. I did it twice in 1 month, and Robinhood gave me a nasty, nasty notification. Really nasty. Wash sale rule. The wash sale rule prevents taxpayers from claiming a capital loss deduction on their taxes if they sell a stock at a loss and then repurchase the same within a specific window. That's the one I know of, and that's the one I told you about, Mark, right? Was that one. Because I know about buying at a loss, right? 30 days before or after the sale date. In your example, you sell at $10. Oh, they're assuming I'm realizing a loss. The IRS disallows the loss deduction. See, that's the one I know. No direct penalty like a fine or criminal charge applies for triggering a wash sale. It simply disallows a deduction. Now, wash trading, market manipulation. Now, wash trading is a different and illegal practice where someone buys and sells the same security to create artificial volume. That's different. Yeah, it's just tax treatment under the wash rule. No SEC fine, no criminal penalty, just no immediate tax loss benefit. Yeah, your exchange just will give you a warning and then could ban you. So I think it's something like that. Yeah, an SEC regulation for stocks. For crypto, there is none. Although I've heard some stuff about crypto, and maybe in the United States, they might regulate crypto as well. Yeah, or you could just buy a different stock and then there's no problem. Exactly. But if you're following a stock and you know its patterns and it goes on a big spike, right, and you sell for a profit, and then it dips down and you buy it back at a lower price, is that a wash trade? How are the charts looking? It's kind of sideways right now. That's why I drew this yellow box around Doge now. Just sideways, 12.5 cents. That's where we're stuck now. Yeah, Joanna, you know how I feel about those AI videos. I love you're making them and all, but it's just, and it's for fun. I get it. I'm just still not a fan. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm not a fan. Videos of things that never happened is just like, but you're having fun. I get it. You wanted to go up to 20 and then to back down to lows. I don't know if it, I mean, again, if Elon does something, yeah, it'll spike. But until then, I think we're stuck. Stuck. Thank you, Ricky Ricardo. Appreciate it. Still holding your sheep. Take the loss. You know, if Doge goes on a run, SHIB will too. Probably not the same percentage, but it'll go on a run. If you buy Doge now, then it goes on a big run and you sell, then it's a short-term capital gain. But if you've been holding the SHIB for a while and it goes on a run, if over a year, and then you sell the SHIB for a profit, then it's a long-term capital gain. That could be like a 15% difference. So think about that. Can I start doing channel raids at the end of your live stream? We can boost smaller Dogecoin streams. Yeah, I don't really follow any other Dogecoin streams. David Mitchell used to be a regular that I liked, and we did a collab, and I used to call him out. That's about it. I mean, I've watched Daryl a number of times on his whatever daily trade signals, but he just gives outlandish price predictions and doesn't really tell the news accurately. So I'd have to watch these channels to see if they're legit or not. I wouldn't just boost this channel without knowing what it is. Again, I keep it real. And if they're not real, I mean, at least Vision Pulse, he knows his stuff, right? So I like his channel. I like his streams because he knows his stuff. He just doesn't trade everything right, I guess. I have some ancient SHIB, never going to make a profit. The likes are catching up. Thank you, Cross. Yeah, everybody should like the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate it. Likely just watch Bitcoin for a bit, see where it goes. Yeah, just the market, it's all sideways now. It's all just sideways. The FOMC just had a little up and down action, but not much. We're almost exactly to my prediction for the month of January. Exactly where I thought Bitcoin would be. This is this white line here. I made this on New Year's Eve, and Bitcoin is right there. People say my predictions are off. Lately, I've been doing okay since October 10th. I was right on October 9th. And then October 10th just messed it all up. More and more I think about it, that was a black swan, October 10th. Hey, Daryl's great, Isaac. I love Daryl. But man, he says a lot of things that are totally not true. And he repeats stuff that's on X that is totally false. And he does these crazy price predictions that aren't real. But hey, but he has fun. He's doing great. I like him. You've been holding SHIB since 2020. Long-term capital gains, exactly. Omri Jokai. Doge will start to run soon. Will surprise us all. I would love to see that. I'm not too proud to say I was wrong. If Doge goes up, I'll take it. I'll take it. I just don't see it right now. I just don't see it. Especially all the way up to the red box. 16 cents. Well, 15.4 up to 17 is that box. So we wait. We wait. We have a super chat in the house. Josh, thank you. GPK. GPK. The Graphic Package Holding Company stock, $14.84. The stock hasn't been doing well. Buy the dip, you say. So was this 2021 run up to 2024? Was this big run based on anything? GPK. What made the GPK stock go on a big run up between 2020 and 2024? This is what I call doing research now. You ask Rock. People say do your own research. This is what I do. I ask Rock now. Right? Let's see what he says. GPK stock. Because I want to know why it went up. I'm going to see why it went up, Josh. Fetching daily close prices, packaging demand went up. Acquisition of AR packaging in 2021 doubled European revenue share. Boy, it's really getting deep into its search. Retrieving annual financials. Croc is really doing the deep dive here on this stock. Usually it doesn't take this long. I guess nobody's asked Croc this question before. Revenue grew from 2020 to 2023 by $3 billion. And then it dipped in 2024. I know, Gurinder, right? Look at Grok go. Deep, analyzing financial growth. All right. Top line, bottom line expansion provided solid foundation for investor confidence, revenue trajectory, earnings surge, series of bolt-on transformational acquisitions, benefit from broader market trends that amplify demand for its products, pandemic-driven demand, shift to sustainable packaging, pricing, and cost management. The stock's ascent was also aided by positive analyst coverage and sector optimism during that period. However, note that post-2024, the stock faced headwinds from demand softening and economic pressures, leading to a sharp decline in 2025, not relevant to the 2020-2024 run-up. In summary, GPK's stock run-up was a result of compounding growth through acquisitions, innovation, market resilience, blah, blah, blah. All right. I would want to learn more about what this GPK company is doing now to see whether this dip is worth rebuying here. but it looks like this might be a good buy. It looks like it might be a good buy, Josh. I'm going to crash Grok. Grok, hey, got me the answer, right? That's what I was looking for. Got me the answer. I think this stock is probably worth buying. Not financial advice, of course. All the way back down to where it was in 2020. People are still going to be shipping stuff. That's not going to end. So that continues. But you think about it, if you buy here, you are buying at a lower price than anybody who bought the stock in the last 5 years. Like all these people who bought the stock are under, and you'll be buying on the dip. Anyway, just a thought. That's a good find, though. Good potential there. Good potential. It's probably like a 2-3 year buy. You're just going to hold for a while and let it do its thing, you know? Fits my checklist. Got to do my own deep dives. Sustainability is going to go away slowly. I think it's kind of just ingrained in everything now, is what I think. Where's a pic of the latest Boston snowstorm? They were all over the web Monday morning. Man, that was a lot of snow to shovel. We ended up with 18 inches for the first batch shoveled, and then Sunday night we got about 2 or 3 inches more. So I'd say 20, 21 inches. I think it was the 9th most snow in one storm in the history of Boston. 9th largest snowstorm. So that was a lot. And we have another one maybe coming on Sunday. There's nowhere to put the snow because none of it is melting right now because it's so cold outside. We're down to 0 like every night, up to maybe 20 degrees in the day. So it's not melting. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, tough. Chadwick, how are you? What's not looking good? What is not looking good to you? Bitcoin and alts? I agree. OnlyFans. Hey, did you start an OnlyFans, Chadwick? Did you start an OnlyFans? Some people might be interested in that. Matt, how are you? Welcome. That was not financial advice. I may or may not be employed there. Ooh, insider trading. Ooh. Sustainable anything is a marketing and political term. Yeah. I use it all the time because in my line of work, we have sustainability guidelines that we have to design buildings to. And that's not going away anytime soon. So higher prices, yep, usually makes things cost more. There's no miner, Kyle. I don't think there ever was a miner. AlphaPex was sending me a miner. No miner. It was such a good idea too. It was going to do the whole unboxing and show you how it sets up and show you what the results are. And they never said it. They lied. Not a fan of AlphaPax right now. Arborman, how are you? Will Doge hit 6 or 7? Right now, I'm predicting a dip into the 9s. If you go over to X on my X account at KrissPax, you will see my latest, like an 8-9 month prediction, where in the summer, I think we're going to have a dip, maybe June, into the 9s. 6 or 7? I mean, it could if things get really, really bad across crypto, but that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. Clint Eastwood. Those spaghetti Western movies were so great that he made. God, that was so long ago now. You can't discriminate, Chudwick. You can't discriminate. The boys are going to watch you too. Are they hiring? Yeah, Josh, will they hire Bruce Wayne? They should hire Bruce Wayne. Can you imagine the marketing you could do with the actual almighty Bruce Wayne? Oh, it might be just a rumor. I know the good and the bad and the ugly were just that was the classic with the three of them in a circle at the end. That was just the classic movie. Yep. And then he did those Dirty Harry movies. Remember those? You talking to me? Great. They're great. Add me as a referral. How do you know that guy? Oh, somebody on a live stream. I don't even know who he is. He calls himself Bruce Wayne. Sure, that's a good reference. Some guy I don't know who calls himself Bruce Wayne. The soundtracks, exactly. But yeah, if they're hiring, then you know, hey, things are turning around. They're hiring. Yeah, you want to scour like Indeed.com, right? And only look to send a resume to companies that are hiring or buying stock, I mean, in companies that are hiring. When it's been reported that half of the Indeed posts for jobs are fake. Like, why would they do that? Posting fake Indeed jobs. So what a waste of time. They want to make it look like they're hiring, but they're not actually hiring by posting Indeed jobs that they're actually not going to hire for. I don't get that. Charlotte has a foot fetish, Kronos. Yes. She admits it. Oh. And I made the mistake of showing a foot once. Big mistake. Hey, it was the middle of summer. It was a hot day. What can I say? Yeah, see? Weren't you here, Kronos, when Kriss showed his foot? I was live streaming barefoot. It was going to be a miner sent to me for promotion. I did not pay any money to AlphaPax. And then I got nothing. And some of you guys actually signed up and bought a miner And they were like, hey, you guys, you got some people to sign up. Awesome. We'll send you a miner and you can do your videos promotional. And I never got a miner. Hugs to Pax Cat. Thank you. Buy now. Zane, again, I point you to my X account in this pattern here that I'm following into the summer. So I'm not buying now, but I can only tell you what I'm doing. I might be totally wrong. Maybe this is the dip and it goes higher. I don't know, but I'm just like not confident right now. The first half of 2026. Not confident. I'm not planning on buying a miner right now. The electricity costs in Massachusetts are so high. We have some of the highest in the nation that I'll be losing money mining Dogecoin. I will lose money. Not only because of the electricity cost, but then the cost of the miner as well, and I'll never recoup it. I'm better off just buying Dogecoin. Now, I was trying to do this, right, as an opportunity, knowing that I would be losing on a daily basis the mine Dogecoin versus the cost of the electricity. But with that, at least I didn't have the overhead of the purchase of the miner hanging over me. But yeah, not going to buy. You meant to buy now until end of Feb and then hold. Yeah, I think it's going to be lower this summer. That's what I think. You almost pay nothing because of your solar panels, but you still have to pay off the miner. Which was going to take a year, regardless of the electricity. So yeah. It's going to be about a year. So to sum up today, FOMC, big nothing burger. I was over on Tom Crown's channel in the chat there, just chatting away, having fun. New York weather girl was there. Monica was there. That was nice to see. Yeah, and Tom had a questionnaire about bullish, bearish, or nothing burger, and I chose nothing burger and was right. Nothing burger. And here we are coming out of it, just sideways. Bitcoin 89, 126, just nothing going on right now. So we wait. There's some data coming out tomorrow. I forget what the numbers is. It might be a jobs number or something. And then Friday we wait and see if we have a government shutdown in the United States. I don't know if it's going to cause a crash or anything, but markets would probably go lower if that's the case. And then we're in that whole how long will the shutdown last thing. So we'll be covering all that. I'll be live again Friday, but I've got other videos to make covering all things financial. So I hope you enjoy this new series of videos I'm making on the cost of living rising, emergency savings funds, and I've got a whole series of stuff I'm going to be covering there, as well as any latest financial news that comes up. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.